Alright. Yep.
Can you see the homework because it confused me a little bit?
Which one?
The homework.
Which homework? You have to tell me the question.
Last week.
Tell me which question. Tell me which question. You have to send me that question so that I can.
It was there was 4 questions and then they all had the same format.
Okay.
It was x squared minus 5x or 7x plus another number.
Okay. All right. No, we can do that. We'll pick up one of them. Okay. Not all, right? Okay.
Because they were similar.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Vasundhara. Hello, Vasundhara. Hi, Arihan. Yes, Arav. You're saying something.
So when I was doing the homework, I found out that we do negative b divided by 2a to find the x value and find the vertex by using negative b by a.
Hold it there. It is always up to us how complicated we want to make a problem. I never bothered to ask you guys to solve the quadratic equation. Quadratic equation will come in 9th grade. Don't outgrow yourself by heading in the direction where you find or you make simple things complicated. That's not only a request for you guys. When I'm teaching, my goal is always to make things simpler, okay? Don't force yourself to make it complicated, okay? So let's pick up a simple problem or one of the assignment problem and try solving in the simplest possible way. So Guneet, you will probably not have any background to this one. We were talking about the quadratic equations and plotting quadratic equation on coordinate plane. That was the assignment we had. That's what we learned in the last week, and we had some assignment on that. Okay. So I'll pick one problem as some of the kids were struggling with that. So I'll try explaining that in the simplest possible form. Is that okay? Yeah. Vasundhara, Sangeeta, Guneet, everybody okay? Arihan? Okay. Now, I'm picking up one question. Let's see what this question is. The question says x squared minus 9x plus 20 equal to 0. Okay. Just 1 second. What is this? Is this the question? Let me look at my assignment question first. What did I do? I said I could have there's a small mistake that I made in the assignment itself. I should have made a small correction to the questions, but let me do that. I don't want you guys to solve the quadratic equation right now because we have not learned that, and that will be an overkill if you do that right away. Without learning something, if you try solving it, that would have been a problem. This is not 0. I would want you guys to consider this as y and then plot this. Because this assignment was all about plotting a quadratic equation in a coordinate plane. That's what we learned in the last class, right? So this question has a little bit of problem to it. So Arav, I know you are trying to go the extra mile and solve a quadratic equation, find the value of x. I don't want you guys to do that now. If you learn everything now, what will you learn when you grow up? Yep. Let's go. Let's digest as much we can eat. Let's eat as much we can digest. Alright? So everybody, let me apologize you guys that I should have corrected this question a little bit, or I should have added some commentary to the question. Otherwise, this gets confusing. Hello, Sandrine. Did I call the name correctly? Sandrine, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. See, my memory is not so bad.
Yay.
Yep. All right. So, one small mistake with the assignment that I had sent last week, where I gave you guys 4 quadratic equations and I put them as 0 and I asked you guys to plot it. That was not right. It should have been this, to plot it. I want you guys to just get familiar with the quadratic equations, and with time passing by, we'll learn more of it. Okay? Maya did not do the homework any which way, so she's fine. Okay. So now, If I have a quadratic equation like this, if I have to plot it, is there anybody in the class who has any confusion about it? How to plot it? No confusion, right? Arav, I know I stopped you from solving it because solving that is not something that we want to do now. Without me explaining the concepts and telling you all the different techniques for solving it, it will not be correct. Yes, Arav?
Because then my dad told me all like the formulas for the two.
Right. No, so those are their formulas, they are ways of solving a quadratic equation, applying the algebraic identities we learned about. So there are different ways of doing it. Since we have not learned that, and that is something that you guys will learn in the 9th and 10th grade. Don't rush, otherwise you'll be pretty much jobless when you go to 9th grade. Let's not rush for it, okay? So the question would have been that this is a quadratic equation plotted in a coordinate plane, and you know that when you have a quadratic equation or any equation for that matter, that is nothing but a contract between x and y, and you will identify a certain value of x and y, assume some value of x and find out what is the corresponding value of y and then plot it. That's it. That was the only ask, okay? Just to get familiar with the quadratic equation. Is that okay? Okay. So what we are going to learn today? We are going to learn about the system of equations and solving for one or two unknowns with system of equations. And there are different tricks and tips around that. Anybody in the class who has already dealt with it, who already knows about it, who is very confident, and remember, if you are saying very confident, you will have to solve it. Yes, Saurabh, tell me.
Wait, what did you say again? Please repeat.
I am saying that today we are going to learn about system of equations for solving one or two unknowns. Okay, so yeah, tell me what you want to tell quickly.
Is it like when we have x and y and we have to have two equations?
So, okay. Stop it there. If I let you guys talk, we will not learn anything, okay? It will go in all possible directions. So let me decide the path of the flow, and then we'll see where we are with our understanding, okay? So let me go slow, step by step, and then we'll see what is happening and what is the level of understanding we all have. Everybody can see my screen, right? Everybody can see my screen, correct? Everybody can hear me okay? Can I request you guys to turn on your videos? I always like making eye contact with my kids, okay? Like the way Advik, Arav, Sandrine, Sulain, Dikshita are, I would request everybody else to turn on their videos if it is okay. If you are in a shareable mode, shareable state. Okay? Alright. So, and again, you guys are not getting recorded, okay? It's only me who's getting recorded. So, the screen, that iPad records only me and the board, not you guys. Now, let's go step by step. If I say 4x plus 9 equal to can somebody tell me what is the value of x? Yeah.
16. Or no, I'm at.
So Arav, that is where I have to stop. There is no math done in air. I did not even see you spend 1 second to solve it. Why are you rushing to get the wrong answer? Yeah, Advik, what is the answer?
4.
Okay, Dikshita, how much it is?
4.
Okay, Sandrine, Sulain, how much it is?
4.
Guneet, same. Do you think it will be 4 or different?
No, I got 4.
Okay, how about you, Arihan?
4.
4, okay. Now you guys must be laughing at me saying, okay, what kind of stupid question this old man is giving. That's okay. There's a message in it, okay? Now, would you, okay, don't try solving it. Hold it. If I have an equation like this, would you be able to find the value of y? Yeah? No? Dikshita said no. I have 5y minus 17 equal to 62. Will you be able to find out the value of y? Okay. If I have 3z minus 16 equal to 83, would you be able to find out the value of z? You will be able to find out. With your experience, with your understanding, with your knowledge, you can find it out. Now the message here is, if you have one equation with one variable, look at these three equations. There's something common among them. Here you have one equation with one variable x. Here you have one equation with one variable y. Here you have one equation with one variable z. And that is why you are able to find out the value of the variable from that equation alone. Agreed? Everybody? Now, let me bother you guys a little bit more. Maya, you're okay with this, right? This part is okay? If I say, can you solve it for x and y? Guneet, how about you, beta? No? Why so?
Because you don't have the value x or y.
I'm sorry, one more time.
Because you won't have the value x or y.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Go ahead. Okay. So you're saying that with this equation, you'll not be able to find out the value of x and y. Okay. Let's see what Arav has to say.
Because there might be many possibilities for x and y.
Okay. How about you, Arihan?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Infinite possibilities.
Okay, Dikshita.
No, because like for one equation we need one variable. If we have like two variables, we need like two equations.
Okay. How about you, Advik?
I agree with Dikshita.
Okay. Copy paste. How about you?
No, because there can be possibilities for what x and y are.
There'll be multiple possibilities for x. What values of x and y are? Shandri and Surin, what is your thought?
Multiple possibilities.
Multiple possibilities. Vasundhara, how about you, beta?
The same thing.
Same thing. Okay. So here, when I have a situation like this, it is nothing but called a linear equation. It's a linear equation where the maximum power to the variables is 1. And this is called linear equation. Okay. And I'll do one very boring stuff one last time. If I have any equation is nothing but a contract between the variables. It's a contract between x and y. Okay. So here x and y have agreed and signed a contract that 4 times, let's say I am x and Dikshita is y. Okay. So there is a contract between me and Dikshita that 4 times my value and 3 times Dikshita's value will be equal to this much. 4 times my value minus 3 times Dikshita's value will be equal to 18. Now if I increase my value, Dikshita's value will change. If I decrease my value, Dikshita's value will change. Correspondingly, my total value will remain 18. Yes, Arav?
I was going to say that if x corresponds to y.
You can say it the way you want, but I'll keep it still simple. That this is a contract. X and Y value will keep on changing interchangeably depending on how one guy reacts. Okay? It's like I get $2,000 as salary. I'm not disclosing my salary in public domain. Okay? Let's see if I'm getting $2,000 salary, and that is the maximum money I'm getting. If let's say in a given month I spend more money, my wife will be impacted. She can spend less. If she spends more money, I'll be impacted. I can spend less. That is the deal here. This is like my salary. This is my expenditure. This is my family's expenditure. If I'm spending more, this will be impacted. So that because my salary is not going to increase. Yeah. So In simple terms, any equation that we talk about, it is nothing but an agreement or a contract between the variables, and they agree for this. Here in this equation, they have agreed that okay, 4 times this guy's value minus 3 times the second guy's value will be this much. Now, this is x and this is y. Now let's say if what happens to y when x is 0? When x is 0, this becomes minus 3y equal to 18 or y becomes minus 6. Now if you put these two values, you will get 18 here, right? Now what happens to y when x changes to 1? It changes to 1, it becomes 4 minus 3y equal to 18 or minus 3y equal to 18 minus 4, that is 14 by 3, minus 14 by 3. What if x becomes 2? When x 2, 8 minus 3y, so 3y equal to 10, minus 10, so it will be minus 10 by 3. So again, I just chose 2, 3 points and I will plot this in a coordinate plane. When x is 0, y is minus 6, y is minus 6, this is 1 point. When x is 1, y is 14 by 3, little more than 4 and less than 6. So when x is 1, this is here somewhere. When x is 2, this is the 3 by, so this becomes my line. So when I have a linear equation, when I plot that in a coordinate plane, this draws a straight line. And this is what every point on the line follows this contract. Meaning every point that you pick up has a corresponding x value and a y value. Okay? And that x and y value is abiding by this contract. Does it make sense to everybody? So, how many dots, how many points will make this line? How many points? Any guess? Yes, Arab.
It could be infinite depending on what type of number you use for x corresponding to y.
Okay. Yadvik, you're saying something?
Infinity.
Infinity. Keep your answers point blank. Any line, there is nobody in the world who is more intelligent than me and who can say, okay, you know what, this line is made of 5 million points. If somebody says that, he or she is bluffing actually. There is no ways you can measure how many points will make a line, because line has no limits. It is infinity. It can go any far that you can think of. Unfortunately, I have a much smaller board. Imagine if I had a 50 by 50 board, this line would have continued. Yeah, I mean, again, this guy is laughing because even if it was 50 by 50 board, how I would have reached that far? That's a bigger question mark. But anyways, coming back to a serious point, any line has infinite number of points. And that's exactly what it means. That if you have just one equation, you're talking about infinite number of solutions which is abiding by this contract. So just with one line, just with one equation, you cannot find any finite value of x and y. You're talking about infinite number of solutions. This is one solution, this is another solution. Likewise, there is no paper enough to write down all the possible answers. Does that make sense? Yeah? Now, how do I get to one finite answer? Now you look at this. How do I get one finite answer? I need one point which I can say, okay, this is my solution for x and y. That will happen when you have another line intersecting this line. When another line intersects this line, meaning that is also going to come from another linear equation, maybe x plus 2y equal to 7. I'm just making it up. So, the summary of that is, you need two linear equations to be able to solve for two variables. Yes or no? Again, relate it back. I had one linear equation that gave me infinite possible solutions. Now, to get one solution, I need two lines to meet somewhere, so that I can say confidently that, okay, now I have x and y value at this point. which is a solution, one solution that I'm looking for. And to get that, to have another line intersect this guy, you need another line. I mean, to have a finite answer, you need another line. And that line will come from a linear equation as well. Only linear equations plot a line for us. So, the essence of that is you need two linear equations to be able to solve for two different variables. Here you have one variable as x and y as the second variable. So, when we have two linear equations, two lines give you one solution. Does that make sense? I don't see that confidence that I'm looking for. Guneet, does it make sense, beta?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah. So, Arihan, are you clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Sandin Sulain, okay? Okay. So the takeaway or the summary of what we have done so far is that if ever I have a linear equation with one variable, it's easy for me to solve it for that variable. If I have an equation with two variables, by no means I can solve this equation for x and y, because one linear equation apparently draws a straight line for me, and every point on the line is a solution for this. So instead of giving me one solution, it gives me infinite solution. Okay, it's like I'm hungry, I want to eat, I want one dish, I got a room full of thousands of dishes, I don't know which one to eat or which one is the right dish. So is the situation here with this. Now, to make it easy, what we need is, we need to find out other equation, let's say some equation, 2 by 9x, that also doesn't matter, minus 1 by 6y, doesn't matter, equal to 18. That's fine. I just need two equations to solve for two variables. And intuitively how I will relate that when I have two equations, one equation will plot one line, other equation will plot another line. In the most likely event, they will intersect at a point, and whatever is the value of x and y coordinate on that point, that will be my answer. Is that understanding okay? Everybody? Now, we will get into that and how to solve it. But one thing that we saw before we got to a two variable scenario, we saw that our life is much easier when I have one equation with one variable. If I had, let's say, z minus 14 equal to 62, this kind of situation was very easy. I did not have to rely on anybody else. I could solve it for z within itself. Even if I had 4 by 9x minus 22 equal to 17, I was self-sufficient to solve it with one equation. One variable, one equation is the best situation to be in if I want to solve for the variable. Correct? Can we record, register, memorize, get it glued in our brains for now? Okay, let's move on. So one variable, one equation is the desired state where I can solve for that variable. Okay, that's what we are trying to get to. Now let's look at some situation. I will probably trouble you guys a little bit by forcing you to solve this problem. Okay. I want you guys to solve it and tell me what is the value of x and y. Just give it a shot. You are able to do it, wonderful. If you are not able to do it, that is even better. Because I will stay employed if you are not able to do it. Arav, I will not even listen to you.
Can you please read the second equation?
Okay, 4x minus 3y equal to 18. 2x plus 3y equal to 17. And I would want everybody to solve it and then we will talk, okay? That's why I got little anxious when Arif said, okay, he raised his hand immediately. I thought, oh, he's already ready to give me the answer. Without solving, there is no answer. Everybody could see the answer, right? If you guys want me to read it one more time, I can do so. 4x minus 3y equal to 18. 2x plus 3y equal to 17. Myra, you have that question with you?
Yeah, I do.
Are you able to solve it? Do it. Once anybody ready, raise your hand. Okay, let's see what Sandy and Sulin have to share. Yep, tell me better.
Well, for the first one, for X, I got 6. And for the second one, for Y, I got 2.
Okay.
And then for the second equation, I got X is 7. And I got, for Y, I got 1.
Okay. So you got two x and y value from this one and x and y value from this one.
Yeah.
Okay. But what we wanted to do was, we said that okay, if I have one equation, I get infinite number of solutions. So we got two equations that will draw two straight lines and they will meet at some point, and this will be my answer. So I'm essentially talking about getting one answer for x and y. Did we miss that? Try, see again, I'm not putting anybody on the spot. I want you to think, okay? So ultimately, the goal is, we knew that okay, with one equation I cannot solve for two variables. I did two equations to solve for them. So when I'm solving for them, ideally I'm supposed to get one value for x and y. So just check what you have done and then we will come back to it, okay? I'm anyway going to do it. Yes, Anvita.
Why? Okay. 1 minute. I think I have to recheck my calculation.
Okay, that's fine. Anybody else? Yes, good.
I think it's y is 16 over 9 and x is 3.
X is 3. Okay. Dikshita, how about you?
I got y is equal to 16 over 9 and x is equal to 35 over 6.
Say that again.
35 over 6.
So, Ganesh, did you say 3 or you said 35 over 6?
I said 3.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. So this is good. I got two answers. We'll see. Yes, Anvita.
I got y is 1 and x is 7.
Y is 1 and x is 7. Okay. This is the other side. Okay. Let's see. How about Myra, Vasundhara, Arihan, Advik, Arif?
Y is 1 and x is over 7 too. I got y is 1 and x is over 7 as well.
X, okay. So you are also getting the same answer. Okay. Alright. Let's see who is still.
That was me. I accidentally raised my hand.
Okay. Did you get the answer or we're still working on it?
Still trying.
Okay.
I'm near the answer though.
Okay. And whoever has completed the answers, use this wait time to review what you did, okay? I mean, this has to become more like a practice because exam also, if you're able to finish things fast, use that time saved for doing review of what you have done. Yes, Arav.
I got y equals 1. That's the question.
Okay. All right. So I have 2-3 variants of the answer. Sandrine, Sulin, were you able to verify answer better?
Close.
Okay, okay. So I'll probably give 1 more minute and then we'll jump on to see whether your teacher is qualified enough to be able to solve this problem or not. Anybody in the class has doubt about my qualification? No? Okay. We'll see if I'm able to match up to your expectation or not. This is the
I think that for y it would be 1 and for x it would be 7.
okay, wonderful. Now, Solin, a question for you, beta, okay? So now, did you realize what you were doing before versus what you have done now? Yeah, that is what my focus is on. Okay, we all learn different things different ways. Sometimes there'll be an oversight, sometimes there'll be a different approach. Our goal is to make corrections here. Okay, in this class, my request to each one of you would be never ever be shy to acknowledge your mistakes. People who acknowledge their mistakes, share it, they grow much faster than others. Okay, so build that personality that okay, I'm a fatherly figure for all of you. Nobody, you don't have to compete with me, right? Nobody has to compete with me. So if I say something, don't take it otherwise and feel bad about it. Just say, okay, fine, we are here to learn. If I make mistake, I'll learn from it. That should be a message for everybody, okay? So even if you're not confident, be always be confident. We'll figure out what we are learning, okay? That's for everybody, okay? Not only for Sanjay and Sulin. Everybody, including Myra. For Myra, I'm not fatherly figure. I'm her father itself. Okay. Alright, so probably I will let everybody pause whatever you guys were doing. I got some answers. And again, don't worry about what I'm doing. I will re-emphasize and talk through the main approach part, okay? Because this might not be the most legitimate question to solve, okay? You have to be clear about the approach and then apply that approach for solving hundreds of problems that you come across. Let's look at this. I have two equations, this equation and this equation. And I'm very lazy actually. I don't want to do anything. What will I do is, I will just add these equations. I will just add these two equations. Yeah.
So then, what do you be doing?
No, Adam, this is where I have a problem. This is where I have a problem now. I would not want you guys to conclude anything when I'm myself not half done. When I'm myself half done. Wait for me to finish. I will give you guys a chance to think and respond to it. But don't break my chain of thoughts, okay? That is not going to be effective for anybody. What I'm doing is, I have two equations. When I looked at these two equations, I got a fancy idea. And again, if somebody is wanting to challenge me, say, okay, why did you not apply run? Which is my magic formula. Because I have already done that, okay? I'm just trying to save time for you guys. That's why I'm not going there. I have already read the question because I myself created this question, right? So reading part is taken care. Analysis also I had done when I was framing this question. Because I want to teach you guys one concept. So read, analyze. Analysis is what I have done already. And my analysis tells me that I can make this equation easy by adding them together. I will just add them together. 4x plus 2x gives me a 6x. Minus 3y plus 3y becomes 0y or nothing. And then 18 plus 17 becomes 35. So 6x equal to 35. X will be equal to 35 by 6. Okay. Now I will let you guys take 10 seconds to process what I'm doing or what I have done so far. And how is this answer different from what you guys got? Yes, Adri?
I'm so big brain.
Huh?
That's such a big brain method.
Big brain method? Now I'm so very dumb. I don't know what does it mean.
So smart.
Okay. Thank you. See, that is the benefit or drawback of being so very outdated. You guys are from current generation. I am 35 years old. 35 years, a generation 35 years ago. Okay. Coming back to this one. Let's not go into unproductive discussion. Let's look at the easy part of it. I had two equations. What did I do? I just added them together because I saw potential of knocking off one of the variable. And by adding these two equations, I came to a point where I had one equation with one variable. If you guys remember what I said 10 minutes ago, that our ultimate goal is to always get to a situation where I have one equation with one variable. And that enabled me to get the value of x very quickly. So, whenever you're dealing with system of equation, your ultimate goal is to recreate or develop an equation where you get one variable in one equation. Now you guys will tell me that okay, you did not teach us how this works and you just gave us a fancy approach. I'll come to that. So I was just setting the context for you guys. System of equation is something that I teach kids even in 10th grade, okay? Because that is it's one of the important topics for SAT. So you guys are actually preparing for SAT right now. So I just did this because I wanted to showcase that our ultimate goal is to come to a point where I have one equation with one variable and I got value of one of the variable. Now once I have got value of the variable, I have the luxury of plugging it in any of the equation to get the value of y. Let's see here what happens. 4 times x, this is my value of x. I'll substitute that x with the value that I have got. Minus 3y equal to 18. That means I can bring this guy here and take this guy this side. So it becomes 3y equal to 4 into 35 by 6. This minus 3y becomes plus 3y when it crosses the border, and this guy becomes negative when it crosses the border. So this became, it is 2 2 is 4, 2 3 is 6. So 70 by 3 minus 18. Now you guys know how to do fraction substitution, fraction subtraction. So this is 370 minus 18, 3 is 54. 16 by 3. So 3y, you got 3y equal to 16 by 3. So y becomes 16 by 9. So value of y is 16 by 9, x is 35 by 6. Anybody who got this answer? Okay. So then you were going the right direction. If you did not, then you probably took a different approach that led to the difference in the answer that you saw. Okay. Now, but it's a very annoying state. A teacher has given you an example and he solved it based on his whims and fancies without explaining you guys how it works. Because I didn't want to explain that. I wanted you guys to tell one message that if I have a system of equations with two variables, my goal is to get to a place where I have one equation with one variable and then I'm pretty much done. Now, there are two methods that we can use for dealing with system equation, and that is when we will talk about these. Let's say if I have same equation 4x plus 3y equal to 18 for 2x minus 3y equal to 16 or whatever it was. I have two ways to get to this state where I can say x equal to x plus something equal to something, or y plus something equal to something. Okay, I have two ways of doing it. One is called method of substitution and one is called method of elimination. Okay, so when you say method of elimination, meaning instead of two variables, you want to eliminate one of the variables. That is exactly what I did when I said I will add these two equations. Okay, because when I was trying to add, I knew that I have the way to knock these two guys off. When I add the whole equation, these two can kill each other. Then I'll be only left with x and some constants. Yeah? That is method of elimination. So let's part method of elimination for a little bit. Now let's look at it this way, okay? I have two equations. Let's pick up this guy. It will become 2x minus 3y equal to 16. This is my equation. So 2x will be equal to 16 plus 3y. Yeah? Or x will be equal to 16 plus 3y divided by 2. I got the value of x. What I will do is, from this equation I found the value of x. I will take this value of x and substitute here in this case. So it becomes 4 times x. X is this. 16 plus 3y divided by 2. This is my x. X I just replaced here. Plus 3y equal to 18. What happened here? If you look at this equation, I have only y. I substituted the value of x from this equation into this equation to get the equation only with y. And in this case, when I was adding them, I eliminated the y. So I only had x. In both the case, here I got the equation with some x equal to something. In this case, I got some y equal to something. So from here I can find the value of y, from here I can find the value of x. These are two different methods. I know I have been talking non-stop and I am probably getting some of you confused. But before I conclude anything, let me see. Let me gauge the water. Who all are confused here? Arihan, confused?
On the second method.
I'm sorry?
On the second method, like the one where you substituted.
Okay, alright. Dikshita, Gunit? Is it confusing? Kind of.
No, sir.
No? Gunit, how about you, sir? I'm sorry?
It's not confusing.
Not confusing? Okay. So, I will probably again break it down, okay? Let's see how much time do we have. We still have 50 more minutes. Sandrine, Sulin, are you okay with her? Okay. Now, let's not look at two things together. Only one goal in mind. That is, from the two equations, I want to get to a situation where I have one equation with one variable. Okay? That's what we'll do. Let's pick up some easy peasy examples. Because I am an easy teacher. I only know easy problems to solve. If there is a complex problem, I'll put my effort to make it look easy first, then I will solve it. Because I don't think I have any opportunity to become more intelligent now. Yeah? Okay. Let's say I have two equations. 4x. Why 4x always? Let's say x minus 2y equal to 17 and 3x minus 15y equal to 3. Okay? I have two equations. I want to solve them. So, how do I go about solving it? What I can see, what I'm trying to do is, if I look at this equation, first equation, x minus 2y equal to 17. That means x will be equal to 17 plus 2y. Now, if I take this value of x and plug in here, what will happen? What I'm doing, I'm substituting the value of x from one equation into other equation. Correct? That's why it's called the method of substitution. I'm substituting the value of x from this equation into the second equation. Myra, okay? So, this is called method of substitution. And why I'm doing that? Because when I'm taking the value of x from this equation, what I'm getting? I'm getting the value of x in terms of y. Meaning if I put this value here, I'll be killing x completely. I'll only have everything with y and some numbers. Y and some numbers. So eventually, by substituting, what I'm achieving is, I'm converting that into one equation with one variable. Does it make sense? Vasundhara, Sanvita, Arihan, does it? Okay? Alright. So, I have two equations. I took first equation, and from that equation I picked up one variable and got the value of that variable. In terms of the second variable actually, see, I got the value of x in terms of y. And I took this value and put it here. Why? Because now when I put this value here, everything is y here. This becomes one equation with only y and some numbers. So I am substituting the value of x from one equation to other equation. That is why it's called method of substitution. Clear? You don't want me to annoy you guys by saying it one more time, right? No? See, Dikshita also honest said, no, please don't annoy us. Okay, so now I got the value of x in terms of y. What I will do here is, I'll take this x and put it here. So 3 times x, I got the value of x here as 17 plus 2y. 3 times x minus 15y equals 3. Now I have only y and some numbers. Let's break it down. 3 times 17 is 51. 3 times 2 is 6y minus 15y equal to 3. So 51, 6y minus 15y. So 51, 6y positive, 15y negative. This becomes minus 9y equal to 3. Keep y on one side, equal to 3 minus 51. Minus 9y equals minus 48. Y equals minus 48 by minus 9. Minus minus I can knock off. 3 3s are 9, 16 3s are 48. So y value is 16 by 3. Was it looking complicated? No? Guneet? Arav? Sandrin, Sulin? No? Okay. Then I have not spoiled your Sunday evening so far. I have not been able to. Okay. Alright. So here in this whole process, what did we do? We had two equations. We found out the value of one variable from one equation and substituted the value of the second equation. So when I am substituting that, I am actually knocking off one of the variable. I am knocking off x because I translated x in the form of y and plugged it here. So it's only y. That is how we got the value of y. So look at this situation. By doing the substitution method, I came to a point where I have the equation with one variable. That is my desired state always. And that will be our desired state as well when you are dealing with system of equations. So Myra, if you shift a little bit this side, I can make eye contact better. So this was substitution method. Now look at today is the day for number 4. I am cheating myself right now. Last time what I was doing was I had one positive and negative and I knocked them off. Let me not cheat myself. Cheating is not a good thing. Okay. So now I have this situation. I have the method of substitution. I can do that always. Nobody is stopping us from doing that. But I have another method. I can actually see ultimately I have to kill one variable and get to a state where I have an equation with one variable. Okay. If I add these two equations, right? It's like 7 apples plus 2 bananas equal to $15. 3 apples minus 2 bananas equal to $18. Add them together. That gives you the price of this much with adding them, right? So adding is okay. You can always add two equations. And if you get whatever as the third equation, that's perfectly fine. That is legitimate, okay? That is defined. So you can anytime add two equations. When you add them, it became 10x and these two nullify each other. So this became 0. So 10x equal to 15 plus 18, 33. You got the value of x. So this is called method of elimination. What you are doing is you are finding out different means to eliminate one of the variable. By not substituting. You are not substituting anything. You are finding ways to eliminate one of the variables. Because our desired state is always to get to a point where I have one equation with one variable. Alihan, does it make sense this time?
Yes.
Gunit, Advik, Arav, Sanvin, Sulaim, Vasundhara. Yes. Yep. It makes sense.
In our hand. I was trying to put the thumbs up sign.
Oh, okay. Not a problem. I mean, yeah, it's okay. Dikshita, is it clear, beta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about Arav, Advik, Sanvita, Vasundhara?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Sanvita, Vasundhara, okay? Okay. Alright. Myra, okay? Alright. So, there are certain tricks that we need to learn about dealing with equations. Okay. So we know that there is a method called elimination. We can eliminate. But life is not so very easy always. You will not be dealing with this kind of situation where you have one positive and one negative value. You have to cook up something by yourself also at times. So you can add the equation, you can subtract also. Okay, if you say, okay, fine, I can subtract this. So this minus becomes plus and this minus. You can subtract. That is also a legitimate operation. That's fine. You can add the equation, you can subtract the equation, and you can form a third equation by adding or subtracting. But apart from that, there are some more methods that you can apply. Some more tricks that you can apply. Let's look at this. Let's say if I have one equation x plus 2y equal to 5. Okay. I don't like x without a number against it. I don't know why. I'm not liking that. Okay, fine. If I don't like it, multiply all by 8. What happens? This becomes 8 into x is 8x plus 8 into 2y equal to 16y equal to 8 into 5 equal to 14. This is the same equation actually. You can multiply or divide any equation by a number that you like. Make sure that you're multiplying all the elements of the equation, okay? Don't just multiply one and forget about it. As long as you're multiplying each and every element of an equation with one number, you're good. That's fine. That's a legitimate operation. Let's say you got something like 200x plus 500y equal to 1000. This looks nasty. You don't want to deal with such a big number always, right? So equation gives you ability that okay, you can divide also all the numbers by one number. See, if I can divide all by 100, this equation I can convert into another equation by dividing all the elements by 100. See what it becomes. 200x by 100 plus 500y by 100 equal to 1000 by 100. Now what it became? This became 2x plus 5y equal to 10. Isn't this equation looking much cuter than what it was looking before? So you have this flexibility. When I say cute, what I mean is these are much easier looking equations that you want to deal with. You don't want to deal with this kind of nasty looking equations, right? Or you want to? Who wants to deal with these complex looking equations? No. Our goal is to always simplify the equations or our calculations so that our possibility of going wrong is minimized to a great extent. Yeah? Make sense? So, two takeaways, real quick with equations. If you have an equation, you can multiply all the elements by one common number. You are doing nothing wrong. You can divide all the elements by one common number. You are not doing anything wrong. And you can choose a number of your choice depending on what makes your calculation easy. Okay? So these are two tricks that I would want you guys to remember. Now let's see how much time I have. We have 3 more minutes. I will quickly skim through one solution. I'll tell you why I'm doing this multiplication division thing. Okay? Now, when we were dealing with this equation like this, 4x minus 3y equal to something, 2x plus 3y equal to something, we knew that okay, if I just add, I will be able to remove y and I can only deal with x, so I get the value of x very quickly. But if your situation is like this, if your situation is like this, you cannot, or let's say it's like this, 2x. You cannot do that substitution, you cannot do that elimination very easily. It will be a complex calculation. What you can do is, okay, I know that I can multiply all the terms of an equation by one number. See, here I have 4x, here I have 3y. Okay, if I multiply this whole equation by 2, I'll get a 4x. And then whatever I get, I will subtract from this equation. I will subtract that equation from this equation. Let's see what happens. What I'm doing is, I'll multiply it by 2. So this equation becomes 2 into 2, 4x, plus 2 into 2, 4y, equal to 2 into 2, 6, 12. So my equation became this. I have another equation as 4x minus 3y equal to 15. See, now I can play with this. I'll say, I will subtract this equation from this equation. Let's see what happens. This is minus, this becomes minus into minus plus, and this becomes minus. What do I get? 4x minus 4x, this becomes null and void. 4y plus 3y, 7y, equal to 12 minus 15, minus 3. Y equals minus 3 by 7. What did I do here? I applied this understanding. I did elimination technique, but before I could do that, I got something that I want to knock, that I am able to knock off. I saw that okay, I have a 2x here, I have a 4x. I can easily multiply this whole equation by 2 and then subtract. This helps me eliminate x and get the value of y very quickly. Is it digestible so far? Concept. Yeah, Rihan.
Wait, will it work on like normal numbers, like 5 times 3 and then if you double it?
5 times 3. No, why would you do it actually? Numbers doesn't help you anything, right? Ultimately, your goal is to eliminate the variables, right? Too many variables if you have to deal with, that doesn't help you solve the equation faster. So your goal is to eliminate one of the variables sooner, so that you get to a point where you have one equation with one variable only, and you get value of one of the variable very quickly, and then you can substitute this value in any of the equation and get the corresponding value of x. That becomes your solution.
Okay.
So I know we rushed through a lot of things, and this is not a topic that you would want to cover in half an hour. So what we will do is, we will try solving few more problems in the next class together, okay, and see if we are confident enough to deal with them by ourselves. Okay, I'll probably give you guys assignment with few problems to solve and see who is struggling how much, and more you struggle, better is the symptom, because that means you are trying. Yes, Dikshita.
like in an equation, can like it, for example, can it be like 4x minus like 3x equals to 15?
Yeah, you can have. You can have, right? 4x minus 3x equal to 15. So it's like 4 banana minus 3 banana equal to 15. So it's 1 banana equal to 15. Yeah? So that is a situation, right? Where we're talking about one equation with one variable. So this is still, even if you have two different terms here, but ultimately you are talking about only one variable. Yeah? So that is possible. Is that clear to everybody so far? 100% clear. Yeah, Dikshita.
And for if it's like 4x minus 3, can we like combine and make it like one equation and then solve it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. So there are a lot of different combinations that you can think of. So we have just touched the tip of the iceberg right now. We will deal with few more problems in the coming class. I will purposefully give you guys some assignment just to explore how much you are able to attempt by yourself, and then there will be more dust to clear in the next class. Okay? So if I give assignment, it is not to get you guys scared. Give it a shot. If you are not able to solve it, not a problem. We are not done with the chapter yet. Okay? Alright? Enjoy the rest of the evening. See you guys next Saturday. Yeah?
Bye, sir.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thanks, sir.
Bye bye. Bye bye.